Hi, Rabbi Rosner. Thank you very much for taking a few minutes. Rabbi Rosner is located in Ramat, in Beit Shemesh, in Eretz Yisrael. All the shiurim that he gives are given from there. So we have a special hakaras hatov and a special connection. Many people listen to the shiurim every single day. The current shiurim, the Yerushalmi being given now, Parsha shiurim being given now, Daf shiurim that were given 7 years ago, 14 years ago, but they are fresh and relevant today. So I thought that it would be appropriate for Rabbi Rosner to share Divrei Chizuk. Rabbi Rosner is somebody who many people spend hours and hours a week with, learning Torah. So there's no greater connection than a connection between a Rebbe and a Talmud, even though it's not physical, than Torah. So Rabbi Rosner, you could tell us a little bit just what's going on and share some chizuk. I know you have children yourself in the army. What does it feel like? And I'm sure the feelings that you have, you could share with the people that may be listening.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Swed, for the opportunity. Again, it's really it's been surreal days these past 9 days or so since the last Shabbos. It felt like a little out of body experience last Shabbos when one by one, the boys in the shul. I had a son and a son-in-law in the shul, and then my son who was in Yerushalayim drove back from Yerushalayim on Shabbos afternoon, getting them ready, not knowing exactly what was going on and knowing that something was happening and that this is a major call-up. But the most deepest feeling was one of connection to Am Yisrael, and Am Yisrael in Eretz Yisrael and Medinat Yisrael, seeing that in my kids, with the feeling and the recognition in their heart and in their mind that this is a shlichus. This is what we need to do for our Am. This is what we need to do for our lands. They have it even stronger than me. They're focused. It's unreal what these boys. They're not boys. Some of them, they are boys. But it's really it's a schus. It's again, it's been a very intense week or so, and obviously as a parent, various anxiety every minute. You don't sleep so well, but you know what? We're in the right place, and it's we wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's a feeling of actually playing the game. You're not on the sidelines, but we definitely feel, and they feel supported by all of Am Yisrael throughout the world. Everybody's doing their part. Everybody wants to feel, wants to be connected. But it's nothing like Ein Kamo Am Yisrael. Now, somebody sent me yesterday or 2 days ago in the past week, 165,000 Israelis came back. 165,000. Like the country started, there was a war going on. I can't not be there. It's not that there's running away, there's running to, because that's our Am. That's our Am, and nobody could fathom not being part of it. So again, it's a very klal type of mentality. It's not about the individual, it's about the klal, and that's something very special. It's one thing again, given Divrei Chizuk in different contexts a number of times in my shul, and in other contexts, just one idea that I mentioned in other shiurim, but I think is very relevant, and that is, you think of Malchus Beis David, the background of Malchus Beis David is pretty murky. Every story could be explained, and is explained by the Mefarshim, but we have Lot and his daughters, Yehuda and Tamar, Rus and Boaz, and this is the lineage of Malchus Beis David. So if we were writing the book, obviously HaKadosh Baruch Hu had something in mind, and there was it's not coincidental. So there are various pshatim given, but Rav Soloveitchik writes in one of his essays that what's the common denominator in all of these stories that had to be the ingredients and the basis for Malchus Beis David. It all looked, each of these situations looked hopeless, looked dark, like there was no answer. Lot and his daughters, they thought the world was destroyed. Yehuda and Tamar was there, forget it, I'm never going to get married. Rus and Boaz. And in each of the stories, it happened to be the women in the stories, but in each of the stories, there was someone who said, I could see the light in the darkness. I can see beyond. I can know that out of this has come something very special. And that's the basis and the foundation for Malchus Beis David. And that's the basis for the idea of geula, of redemption. There's always darkness. Throughout our history, darkness is always followed by tremendous light. Right after the Churban Beis Hamikdash, we have Rabbi Yehuda. Soon after, we have the great period of the Tanoim, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi writing down the Mishnah. right? The beginning of the Crusades in 1096 V'chulu, and after that, 400 years of, again, not simple, but the days of the Rishonim, the greatest development of Torah Shebaal Peh. 1492, the Spanish Inquisition, that paves the way, obviously in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's world, for Torah to be brought back to Eretz Yisrael in the centers of Tzfat and Yerushalayim. Rahman al-Islam, throughout the Holocaust, right 3 years later, it's unfathomable. The birth of the state of Israel, we come back with Jewish sovereignty for the first time in 2,000 years after the greatest tragedy and the greatest darkness. So we know HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world with darkness and then light. That's this week's Parsha. On Shabbos, we lane that by Mincha. We lane that by Shachris. That was Simcha. It was on Simchas Torah. We lane Shach by Yehi Or. It was Vayera Vayivoker. So we daven with all our hearts. And we know HaKadosh Baruch Hu has promised that through this darkness, there will be tremendous light. We hope and we pray that it comes with, again, there's been tremendous pain already. We hope that it'll be no more pain, no more suffering. We know HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring it. And B'ez Hashem, we've seen bracha already, the coming together of Am Yisrael. We just need to remember this as the tzara passes. We need to remember to forget the labels and to forget the separation and the divisiveness. We have to remember to keep this up, to focus and remember we are all Am Echad. Imagine how much nachas HaKadosh Baruch Hu is having now. My kids, my children are getting along with each other. My children are supporting each other. There's nothing that one Jew wouldn't do for another Jew right now. Ain't kamo Am Yisrael. B'ez Hashem, we should be zocheh to be able to come out of the darkness, to have tremendous light, that all of our children and our neighbors' children, everybody should come home safely and fight like they have to fight, protecting us and doing our ishtabus. But we have to B'ez Hashem daven that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings each of them home safely, and we get to live b'sheket or b'shalva in our wonderful land. And B'ez Hashem, very soon with Binyan Beis HaMikdash b'meherav yamein.
Amen. Thank you very much. Kaveh el Hashem chazak v'yam mislibecha, and then again, Kaveh el Hashem. The key word, the hope that we have for Am Yisrael at this time. We should see the Gula very, very soon. Thank you very much, Rosner.
Shkoyach.